Monday after the election, and unless you haven't been paying attention at all, the election was called for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and um, they are vice president-elect. It's an exciting time. I'm particularly excited that Kamala is the first person of color and the first woman to be elected vice president, and that's amazing. It's thrilling. It's exciting. It's wonderful. History. Hi, David. David just came over from Instagram. Good to see you, David. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Peter. So it's been a really interesting couple of days. I know you have been watching the news, so you know what's been going on. But Trump refuses to accept the results of the election. He's going to be taking some of his complaints to the courts, filing charges, filing complaints, filing mishandling of ballots, voter irregularities, things like that. So we will see. And there are going to be some recounts. I know Georgia is automatically being recounted, and other states perhaps he's going to challenge and have it recounted. Arizona, I think. In any case, thank you, Peter. Peter says I've been doing great drawings lately. Hi, Mark from LA. Hi, Brett from LA. Pablo, hello, Pablo from LA. A lot of people from LA here. So, Lucia from Santo Domingo, good to see you. Yeah, so Biden is doing his very best to call for unity and trying to speak to all Americans. He says he's not a Democratic president. He won't be a Democratic president. He's going to be an American president. We've got to figure out a way to come together somehow. Someone says, Baked Pixel Eater says, I question whether the U.S. wants to be unified anymore. I don't know. Hello, Sheikh Amir Ahmed from India. Hi, good to see you. I think we want to be united. I think there's some people that would rather be their own country. Maybe the Trump supporters. Many of them are very strong in their feelings about non-mainstream ideas and beliefs, but hopefully we can work with them. We can all work together to make it a more unified country. It's going to be tough, but we'll try. And I know that Donald Trump is probably going to try to maintain his following. Of course he will, and that's why the Republicans are not coming out and calling the election for Biden yet. I suppose they want to see what's going to happen with the challenges, and that's fair. But I think it's clear from everything I've read that the election was fair. And that I want to say is the most important thing, is that we got through an election without horrible violence or major voter suppression. I'm sure there was some, but nothing that made loud news. So let me turn this around and draw for you. I'm talking too much right now. I'll try to talk while I'm drawing as well. I always do. So, as I said, Biden really, and he's a good man. He's trying to do the right thing. He wants people to get along, and he's been in the Senate for so many years, and he's worked across the aisle. He's friends with a lot of Republicans. He's worked with Republicans. He's a traditional legislator, and he's trying to bring unity. So what I thought I would draw today has to do with unity, but it also has to do with his statements today about foreign policy. Let me see. I got to concentrate and draw his face here. I'm not putting aviator glasses on him at this point. I can't decide whether I'm going to continue giving him aviator glasses every time I draw him, or not. It doesn't really look like him now without the aviators. What I'm drawing now is something he said. He really wants to get rid of the slogan and the idea behind America First internationally. We are, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, we are one country of many, and we should not be first. We should think about other people, other countries, try to work with other countries. And I know, you're saying, oh, you're being naive. There's many countries that are working against us. Yes, I know that, but I think the sentiment of working together and being, a global community is what I think is important. And so I have this drawing is of Biden, who is a hugger, and Kamala, who also appears to be a hugger, hugging the earth. I think we all need a hug. It's been a difficult 4 years. If you're a Trump supporter, not so difficult, but for many of us, I felt like Trump was so erratic, and please don't challenge my geography. This is just a rough sketch. Concentrating. So I think the world needs a hug, and I think Biden wants to work with the world. He's going to join the Paris Accords, climate accords again. He's going to try to restart the Iran treaty agreement. What's it called? And I know I have many international friends, and they were all hoping for a more stable presidency, a calmer presidency, less erratic. Trump, you just never really knew what he was going to do. And I know some people like that. That's what they liked about him. Here's Kamala in her chucks. I like drawing her in these sneakers. Well, that's taking too many. Okay. So let's just hope for a calmer, more less drama, please, coming out of the White House. Less drama. Biden has been speaking every day since he was the election was called for him. And did you watch his talk, his speech on Saturday night? Called for unity. He said, I'm going to be the president of all Americans. I'm not just going to be an American president. I mean, a Democratic president. I'm going to be a president of all people, all Americans. But I did find interesting, though, speaking of nationalism, there were a lot of things on Instagram recently since the election was called of people, Democrats, putting their flags back out in front of their houses as if they didn't feel they could do it beforehand. And there was a sense that the Trump supporters had claimed the flag as theirs, which is not true. I mean, we all are Americans. I mean, I'm not a big flag waver. I think nationalism, I'm really a strong American, and I believe in nationalism, but I don't want to flaunt it and flail it in front of people. Flail it? I don't want to flaunt it. And I think this is how I feel about foreign policy. Is it's all about working together with other countries, not saying we're better than you. And the things that Trump used to say about, oh, well, they're not contributing enough. They're not giving enough. We're a rich country. We can certainly help others more than many countries. No more short pants, Lucia said. Well, probably I might draw them again at some point. I think we do need therapy, Karen. I think we all need a big hug. Yeah, the world needs a hug. We need a hug. Brett wants to know, do you prefer? I don't really care one way or the other. I'm not really a caricaturist that way. I'm a cartoonist. You see my work in the New Yorker, it's more just people, not, where's my big book? Not caricatures. So drawing Trump as I have over the recent months is a departure from me. And it's funny because exaggerating, neither Kamala Harris nor Biden really have exaggerated features of any kind, or anything you could caricature easily, like Trump's hair. Or that's why I might continue to put aviator glasses on Biden, because it sort of is his signature look, and his face is so rather ordinary looking. It's hard to know how to pull out features. He's got a big forehead. I try to do that. And Kamala, what is her? She has great long hair. That's one of her visual attributes that you can exaggerate if you want. Obama has big ears. That's one way to draw Obama, is give him big ears. Nixon had a very funny nose. I drew him once when I was a kid, because I was a kid when he was president. And who else? I didn't really draw Jimmy Carter. I didn't draw Ford. I didn't draw Bush. Wasn't doing that kind of political cartoon in those times. So, I've never drawn Mitch McConnell. He's certainly easy to caricature. Here's an interesting fact. Back when Nixon was president, there was a famous cartoonist for the Washington Post. His name was Herb Block, and he did a lot of caricatures of Nixon. But he was drawing Nixon before Nixon was even president, when Nixon was running for the Senate. And when he first showed up on the scene, he was considered kind of shady, Nixon, even before he was president. And so Herb Block would draw him in his cartoons with a 5 o'clock shadow, which back in the 60s and 50s was a sign of sinister, somebody being sinister. If you had a 5 o'clock shadow, that doesn't hold water anymore. People have 5 o'clock shadows now, and it's considered a fashion statement style. Anyway, so he would draw Nixon with a 5 o'clock shadow when he was before he was president. And then when he became president, Herb Block stopped the 5 o'clock shadow out of respect for the presidency, and also to give Nixon a chance to see how he would be as a president. That's the same thing I did with the shorts. I drew Donald Trump in shorts during the primaries because he was a bully. He was a bully to all the other Republicans candidates. He just acted like a bully. And of course, I've seen him in New York all these years, and he's been a bully. So I drew him in short pants. And then when he became president, I stopped the short pants because I wanted to give him a chance. Because I thought maybe he'll be a passable president. Maybe he will. Because who knows? I didn't have my hopes up. He's such a sexist. For one thing, didn't know the extent of his racism yet. So I stopped drawing short pants and then didn't bring them back until this year, when I perceived that he was really behaving like a bully, even more than ever before, not to mention other things. So it's interesting to talk to other political cartoonists and see how they deal with caricature. As I said, I'm not really a caricaturist. But I do like doing political cartoons, and I try to do them in different ways. It doesn't really look like Biden. I'll probably put his aviator glasses on with Photoshop. Kind of looks like he's wearing a Nehru jacket. Anyway, so Biden, this is Liza Donnelly. I'm a cartoonist and writer for many publications. And so the world needs a hug. And Kamala and Joe are going to do that. And I think Joe is going to try to unite this country. I wish him well. Somebody's asking about my watercolors. Nixon Shady. Really? Yeah, really. Kamala known for crackling forced grin? I don't know if it's forced. Cackling forced grin. I don't agree with you. I think it's a beautiful smile. Thank you, Victoria. Oh, thank you. I could listen to you talk all day, says Dale Gen 2. Thank you. I'm just babbling. I'm just talking off the top of my head. I'm a fairly well-informed person. I don't always get my facts right, but I just talk about what I've read, what I'm sensing, what I'm picking up on. The watercolors. Well, I'm using a combination of dyes. They're called Dr. Martin's dyes. I don't have any with me right now. They're in another room. But these are my watercolors, and they're Winsor Newton. Those are Winsor Newton. These are cheaper ones, Cotton watercolors. And yeah, those are my watercolors. But I do like the dyes, Dr. Martin's dyes, because they're very bright. And they actually are smoother than actual watercolors. It's easier to paint. I've used them for my children's books. So that's my drawing for today. And I will see you again tomorrow. Let's turn this around. I do this every day at 5:30. I talk and draw at the same time. And we talk about the news, talk about what's going on. If there's a breaking story, I will draw possibly about that. Really have to sort of shift my gears and draw. Well, I mean, I think in the last month I've been drawing a lot about what Donald Trump has been doing, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that anymore. I probably will draw him again because he's going to be fighting this thing. He doesn't want to lose, so he's going to be doing recounts and taking legal action. So we'll see what happens. See what you're saying. Amazing. Thank you for responding. You're welcome. A lot of disagreement here. Murdering the world, somebody says, not hugging the world. Well, I think that I think it's going to be a kinder, gentler United States right now. That's my opinion. A little more empathic, a little more even keeled. Let's hope so. And get through this virus first. It's really bad out there. So I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 5:30. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been fun. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great